All right, welcome back. Now, we originally spoke my first video, we spoke about where to find groups, whatnot, where do I begin with that. But for all the other people on Reddit that I've been hearing about is where do I begin? That last video did not answer where do I begin. That just gave me information of where to find people. Both of these will go hand in hand. When it comes to playing Dungeons and Dragons, where do I begin? You begin with this. The player's handbook. People may argue with me and say, oh no, you begin with the Dungeon Master's Guide. Yeah, you could, but that doesn't really explain anything. The player's handbook has all your meat and potatoes of everything that your players can do, from classes to characters to spells to items and all of that. It goes over all that information. Now, we also have the Dungeon Master's Guide. Keep in mind, these are fifth edition books. Fifth edition is probably the easiest to play. I started playing back when it was second edition. Second edition was with THAC0. Don't worry about that. These are much more simplified than any other edition I've ever played with Dungeons and Dragons. But the Dungeon Master's Guide, the great thing about this is this actually gives you information on how to build a world, how to make a cave, how to make levels, how to make terrain, all that other, how to make cities, and everything that you can begin to imagine with any type of Dungeons and Dragons framework. Is this necessary? If this is your first time playing Dungeons and Dragons and you're adamant about being a dungeon master, I would encourage to at least pick this up. The reason being is because with this Dungeon Master Guide, it has all the information. Excuse me, it doesn't have all the information that you need because clearly you saw all the other books, but it has a wealth of knowledge about how to world build and how to keep your players engaged. So if you have a great imagination, I mean, you really don't need this. However, this is a great resource. It is a little bit on the expensive side. I mean, I got this from a friend when he wanted me to convert to 5e because we were playing third edition. I'm glad he bought me this because ever since we got this, we're not going back. But the only other thing to get is if you are going to be a dungeon master. If you're not going to be a dungeon master or you have no interest in being a dungeon master, don't get this unless you are going to be a dungeon master. If you're going to be a dungeon master, this and this. These are the two books that you will need guaranteed. This has the monsters that you're going to put on your world to fight these guys. This is going to give all the information for the people in your group, the players, to go into this. Now, these books add up. They get expensive. I understand. You know, Dungeons and Dragons, just like any hobby, can get expensive over time. So I don't want to read all that. What happens if you're one of those people? I just want to play the game. That goes back to my other video, the first video I had, where you can go to a group and find groups on Facebook, or you find groups in a tavern or any type of gaming area or gaming store out there that has tables set up. Go there in the evenings, any day of the week, talk to the people up there, talk to people at the bar if it's a gaming bar, and they'll give you all the information. But let's just say you do want to be a dungeon master, but you don't have all that. You don't want to spend all that much devotion. You don't want to spend that much time in regards to reading all these books. I get it. This is where you get the starter packs. One, I played a lot of different Dungeons and Dragons starter sets. This is the one I recommend. The Lost Mines of Phandelver. There's a lot of information on this. The cool thing about this is this right here. It comes with pre-made characters. It comes with dice. It comes with a whole storyline. This storyline will get you up to about fifth level, and I mean it has a lot of information. It has monsters. It has, like I said, pre-generated classes. It has a green dragon you can fight. It has a hook. Basically, it goes from a newbie level one, all the way up to level five. This content, I'd say, is roughly about 20 to 40 hours, if not 60 hours in some cases, depending on how slowly your game goes or how fast it goes. So Lost Mines of Phandelver is a great start. It only costs about 20 to 30 bucks, and it gives you at least a little bit of the meats and potatoes, but don't expect it to have the information that this has or the information that this has. Now, the only other things I would encourage to look at about beginning is to find people. And the only way they're going to find people is by asking, hey, do you play Dungeons and Dragons? I mean, this isn't the 90s. When I was playing Dungeons and Dragons, you didn't tell anybody. You just found someone that played RPGs or played video games, and you'd be a little bit reluctant to ask them because you don't want to be labeled as one of those people that play Dungeons and Dragons, basement nerd, So this is well before the whole, yeah, Stranger Things thing. Strangers Things, which I've never watched. Stranger Things. I've heard I should watch it, but yeah. Besides the point. Lost Mines of Pandora. This is a great resource to start, especially if you're going to be a game master. If you are not a game master, don't get this. If you are not being a dungeon master or you're not being a game master and you just want to play the game, at least get this. This is a good book. It's a solid buy. You can't go wrong with this, especially if you want to invest in Dungeons and Dragons. That way you can make your characters. You could go to the Dungeons and Dragons website and you can build characters there. You can print off their sheets, but this right here is by far the best asset any dungeon master can have. It gives the base general classes and it gives all the information that you'll need. If you have any questions, concerns about where to begin, put it in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to post some more videos here and there as they come up. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day and take care.